this with turbans and mashallah. Next. 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 Navigation, it all came from the Muslims. The compass was first used, according to researchers, by Arabs who learned it from the Chinese. The Chinese used it for divination. The Muslims were the first to use it for navigation. And that is an established fact. Next. Graph paper is an early Muslim invention. And this doesn't get to Europe until the 19th century. Or, well, actually, Descartes uses it, but it doesn't become commonly used. But the Muslims invented graph paper. Next. Cartography, Hadith wala haraj al-Idrisi. Next. University chair, al-Kursi. And I wish, the time's up. So next, I just want to get to the end of this. Academic count, next. Diplomas or a Muslim, next. Next. Education of women, and in the 13th century, there were more women teaching in Muslim universities, according to an English study that was done 2 years ago. There were more women teaching in Muslim universities per capita than there are today in the West. And that is a fact. Next. And Imam al-Sakhawi said about Hani that he took all of the musalsalat from her and heard her recite Surah As-Saff in a beautiful voice. And Imam Sakhawi is one of the greatest muhaddithin of our tradition, a man of taqwa, the teacher of Sidi Ahmed Zarruq. The libraries, hadith wala haraj. In Egypt, there was over 1 million books in one of the libraries there. Today, the Library of Congress has 7 million books. The library in New York, Library of Congress has 25 million. But, this is printed. Those were handwritten manuscripts. Arabian Nights, massive influence on the West. Next. Language. Yeah. Next. Yeah, just go through this. A lot of you know these things. Mohair, mukhayyar, mohair jackets. Next. 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 Paper. Chinese invented it, Ceylon, in the 1st century. It gets to Baghdad by the late 8th century, and they teach it, and then it's introduced into Europe, and paper changes the world. Next. Next. Board games, chess, another thinking game, the thinking man's game, is from India, shatranj, and the Arabs develop it, introduce it into, and some of our ulama considered it acceptable for military people to learn strategies as long as they didn't delay the prayers, according to Qadi Iyad. But interestingly, the Arabs had the queen was the weakest piece, and it was the French that introduced the what they call the crazy queen. Oldest team sport, polo, Afghanis. Next. And then military, all the military uniforms come out of the Ottoman Empire, really. All of these nice, sash is Arabic, shash. And the stripes, all these things came out of the Muslim armies. Next. These are Americans wearing turbans. Next. Next. Tolerance is probably our greatest contribution. And finally, Islam in America. These contributions are continuing. The Americans are bugged by the Muslims, but the truth is we gave them the word bug, which is a Yemeni word, baq. The Yemeni say bug, and it means a pesky little insect. And so even though they're treating us like pesky little insects that they can swat sometimes, we're here for a purpose. And we are part of this culture and civilization. Our people have contributed to it greatly. And when David Letterman can say on national television that he went to his doctor today and he said, turn to Mecca and cough, and everybody laughs, indicates that most people have Muslim doctors now. So if they're willing to put their lives in the hands of Muslim doctors, they're pretty stupid to think that Muslims are dangerous people. And I'll just, in closing, I want to, the slang words from the Muslim world, hala, which means hello, although that's debatable, but so long is from salam, and it was adopted by the British when they were in Malaysia. So long is from salam. Salam is the way the Malays say goodbye. And so long is goodbye. Hala is hello. So hello, good, you say goodbye, I say hello. Hello, hello, hala, hala. Another very interesting word that exists in the slang is, well, anyway, I'm going to finish this with one quote from Montgomery Watt. When one keeps hold of all the facets of the medieval confrontation of Christianity and Islam, it is clear that the influence of Islam on Western Christendom is greater than is usually realized. Not merely did Islam share with Western Europe many material products and technological discoveries, not merely did it stimulate Europe intellectually in the fields of science and philosophy, but it provoked Europe into forming a new image of itself. Because Europe was reacting against Islam, it belittled the influence of the Saracens and exaggerated its dependence on its Greek and Roman heritage. So today, an important task for us Western Europeans and Americans, as we move into the era of one world, is to correct the false emphasis and to acknowledge fully our debt to the Arab and Islamic world. Assalamu alaikum.